Howdy folks, happy Saturday to you. Thanks for dropping by. As you can see, we're playing some Out of Ore. I was going to make an episode out of this, but I was kind of chilling, relaxing after my long week in Chicago, and thought, you know what, I'm just going to stream this. And yeah, people can hang out. People can watch it after the fact, whatever suits them. So we're just doing some miscellaneous stuff, and I think I might end up rebuilding this whole main plant. We'll see. I'm going to move some dirt here at first. I think I might end up just rebuilding this whole thing. I've been kind of working on it, as you can see. So that's the plan. We're chilling. I got to remember how to play. It's been a while. It sounds like this plant is on. Let's go turn that off. We got Pesby 69. I don't know if I said that right. Welcome. We got Brian Jensen in the house. Welcome, Brian. Appreciate all the comments on the YouTube videos, Brian. You're always right in there, giving me feedback and tips and stuff. Yeah, let's turn that off. Probably going to rebuild this. And we'll turn you off. There we go. The grid load is 10 kilowatts. You're off. Oh, is that the light over here? I think I had a light hooked up. Hey, Pesby. Yeah, I built all this. There's a YouTube series. It's season 4, I think. And this is a live stream of that environment. We're just doing some miscellaneous work and be rebuilding some things. So I thought I'd do it live today. This is the main plant. There's another plant. You can kind of see it up there on the mountain where we tunneled in and got some stuff. So yeah, if you haven't seen the series, it's in my playlist. You can check it out sometime. Hardcore mode, started with the pickaxe and worked my way up. What am I doing? I want to get the baby loader down here. That's what I want to do. So let's go find the baby loader. That's this little guy. And the machines kind of drift around when they spawn in, so I don't know why this track loader's all out of sorts, but it was straight at one point. Let's try straightening that up again. Alright, this guy should be a little more maneuverable down there where we're clearing out that stuff. So we're going to take I call this guy the baby loader. He's just a little bitty guy. I think this is what we started with on this series, actually. The small loader. Yeah, I'm not live too much, Pesby. Just kind of here and there when I can. But appreciate you watching. Full rebuild. Yeah, I think I'm going to rebuild at least most of this main plant down here. And kind of reorganize it a bit. If you watch the episode where we did coal power, I kind of wanted to do that, and it was going to be a little much for that episode, so I just kind of shoehorned it in. But first thing first, we're going to move a little bit of dirt here. I'm trying to get this kind of down to this level here where the concrete is. So let's see if we can do that. And we're just chilling here on a Saturday. Yeah, the vandals breaking in. I just got back last night from a week of working up in Chicago. That was very tiring. I had some good food, though. Get that dumped out. Sort of, kind of, maybe. Video Game Nation, hi. How you doing? I haven't really played in a week, and I'm rusty. Lost all my muscle memory. Alright, let's back up a little bit. Just start smoothing this off some. Yeah, man. There you go. This thing doesn't want to overload quite as well as the L11 does. And it has to reach pretty high to get on this dump truck. Maybe I should have brought... Maybe I should bring the Mac down. Or the Peterbilt, whatever it is. That might be a better match for the little baby loader. Let's try that. Let me get this out of the way. We'll go dump this truck. And we'll bring the other smaller dump truck down. Let's see. I don't really have a way to dump into that, so we're gonna... Actually, I can dump down in the coal pit, though. We can do that. Yeah, it's just a little baby loader. It doesn't have much reach. We'll go dump down in the coal pit. I gotta move that loader, though. It'll be a little tight. See, we're doing a little bit of oil production down here. It's not actually turned on at the moment. Yeah, I don't want to make a hollow up there, though. I want it kind of flat, so... Alright, we'll move out of the way. And it'll give me a good excuse to use the smaller dump truck. Alright, now can I get my nose over here? No, I'm going to have to back up and reapproach this. This is designed for cutting coal and dumping it with the loader, not necessarily with the truck, but we can get back in here. Beep, beep, beep. Luckily they don't beep. Alright, this guy can go back up the mountain and we'll bring the other dump truck down. 45 derricks to one refinery? No money problems for you then, huh? What's my favorite food? Anything that'll slow down so I can catch it. I'm pretty much a meat and potatoes guy. I'd say my probably favorite meal would be like a open face roast beef sandwich, mashed potatoes and gravy. But I like most food. So I had some good seafood and some good fish, some good steak in Chicago. We had a bunch of vendors taking us out to fancy restaurants, so you know, it was pretty nice. All right, park that thing there. Here's my crafting table going. How are we doing over here on the? There we go. Get some wood beams. ABC, always be crafting. And, alright, we got the last of those made. We probably ought to make... Yeah, we're going to use a lot of those. Let's see if we can fire up... Those take how many? Yeah, that'll take most of the beams, so we'll just do that. That'll work. And it does always taste better when somebody else is paying. Alright, I've already emptied this out, so we're good there. Whee! That's your favorite dish, the free food? So yeah, I'm a pretty simple guy. I like meat and taters. But I just like food in general too. About you guys, you got some favorite dishes? I did get myself a Chicago dog while I was up there from Portillo's, if you're familiar with Chicago. That's apparently the place to be for hot dogs. I think this might be asphalt. So I might need to dump this and put it in my pocket. I love me a good Chicago dog. They're hard to find around St. Louis. There's not many hot dog places left. I think some Steak and Shakes still have Chicago dogs. I should look into that. Alright, let's make sure this is turned off. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, that's off. This guy... Oh, yeah, this guy's on. That's our 10 watts or whatever it was seeing on the grid. I should see 0 now. Yep, grid load 0. The 10 kilowatt light. 10,000 watts. That must be a really bright light. Yeah, pulled pork. Yeah, good stuff. I'm not familiar with Danish meatballs, but I'm a meatball fan in general. Alright, so let's return that. Actually, let's send that through, and then we'll turn it back off. So we'll turn the manufacturing plant on. Let it do its thing. Meatball subs or lasagna? Yeah, those are all good. Let the little boxes fly around everywhere. Oh, also, guys, I forgot to mention at the beginning. YouTube has a new feature where it's supposed to play the ad off to the side. So I usually don't monetize my streams, but I did turn on monetization for this one. So I'm interested in feedback on the ads on this stream. It wasn't real clear if it was like all of the ads are that way, but it's supposed to play the ad and still let you see the stream. So give me some feedback if you see ads. I'm interested to see how that works out. I usually just monetize the videos and don't monetize the streams, but they had that new feature, so I was going to try it out. Alright, turn that off. Dump this. Hey Dibs, welcome. Happy Saturday to you. Got some new faces and some regulars in here. Nice. Yeah, that's asphalt. That's what I thought. I'm going to stick that in my pocket. That's turned off. How you doing with fuel? You got plenty of fuel. I kind of wish this was a little shorter dump truck. It's a little bit of a pain. Also, the steering is super twitchy with the keyboard. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I have YouTube Premium as well, so I never see ads. But for those of you who do, I'm interested in feedback. I know people hate mid-roll ads, so on the videos I have those turned off. YouTube's always bugging me. You could be making more money. I know I could be making more money, but I was trying to make my viewers more happy. I'll take a little bit of money, but I'm not in this to pinch every last penny out of it. Kind of want to be in here sideways, but that's not really working out. This thing's too long. So let's go over here and be sideways. Yeah, nice 8x8 with some steering axles. Yeah, let's park this here and then we'll load it with baby loader. I think that will work. And let me get my concrete blocks up here. Don't need those. We don't need those. Oh yeah, I've got the gravel. I need to drop the gravel off. I've kind of moved my concrete production over to here. I've got water pumps going into storage tanks now, so we've got tons and tons and tons of water. Those blocks are done, so we got plenty of blocks now. Let's see, we have 2,200, so let's do 500. No, these take how many? Oh, these take 10, so we need about 50 in each one of these. Let's do 60 and we'll see if we run out. Hoping for some more automation to come to the game. Although what we have now is pretty cool. And the rest of them here to make 49, that'll work. What's my favorite dessert? Favorites is hard. I'm probably gonna go with cherry pie. I really like a good homemade cherry pie. Steering and maneuverability of a battleship, right? All right, throw that in there. I think we're good for now. Yeah, let's fire off like another. Can we do like 40 of these? Yeah. All right, let's fire off another 40 of those. Always be crafting. ABC. All right, back to moving dirt, and then we're gonna try to do some rebuilding. Yeah, automated nuts and bolts, right? That'd be the dream. So I'm kind of gonna just pave this with concrete and build a plant on it. Is kind of the plan, I think. So I wanna get rid of having to have the chute and hopper for the coal. That's kind of what started all this. Okay, I'm going to take one more scoop, and then we're going to work on this middle part. Yeah, right, Dibs? I'm like, take all the things. That looks like it's going to be a great game. Star Rupture. That was this morning's video. It's a playtest right now. I clicked join and it just immediately gave me access. I don't know if they're just letting everybody in or what's going on, but it's got a lot of similarities with Satisfactory. It's got fantastic graphics, and yeah, it looks like it could really be something. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that for sure. The problem with that dump truck is it doesn't have nearly the capacity of the big one. Oh, thanks for the sub, Video Game Nation. Appreciate it. I don't know if I deserve more subs, but I welcome them. I've been doing this a long time. I just do it for fun. If you're new here, I have a full-time career and a family and all that good stuff. I just do this for fun. It kind of exploded a few years back. It took me like 10 years to get to 2,000 subs because I'm just a casual. And then I played Railroads Online, and the channel kind of exploded. And then every once in a while the algorithm smiles on you. And yeah, it kind of blew up from there. We're up to almost 26,000. Pretty crazy. Looks like it's maybe close to overloaded, but I haven't used this truck a ton, so I'm not really sure. This guy kind of back out of the way, and we'll go take a look. Yeah, definitely overloaded. Alright, let's get our nose over a bit. Get backed out of here. All these trucks with the 3 axles are just beasts off-road. They can go just about anywhere. It's awesome. About 13 yards. Yeah, it's not massive compared to the big rock trucks. But it's the right height for baby loader. So they make a good pair. It also works out pretty well for the asphalt spreader. Did I turn this off? I think I did, but let's make sure. I don't want to send all this dirt through the manufacturing plant. Can I? Yeah, let's... Okay, I was going to carry it over there in my pocket, but... Let's see if we can dump this in the coal dump like I did with the other truck. No, it's not going to be tall enough, is it? Okay, well, never mind. We're going to put it in my pocket. Yeah, Dibs, there's definitely video game withdrawals. I mean, I was missing my wife and kids too, but I was also missing video games. That's kind of one of my main hobbies. It's my way to unwind at the end of the day. Even if I can just play for like 20 or 30 minutes. It's a good way to relax. So there's easier ways to move all this dirt, but I enjoy the process. That's the whole point of the game for me. Enjoying the process. So we're going to move a little more dirt, and then we're going to start ripping all this apart. When I say this, everything like over the truck here. And we're basically going to rebuild from that hopper over and just kind of get everything a little more organized. And not have to have the chute and hopper for the coal to get transferred. That's kind of a pain. I think this is... Yeah, this is pretty well smoothed off. Let's go ahead and get our block here. And we still got a little bit here. That'll give us a good reference point. How are we doing over here? We got close. We got real close. Yeah, a nice earth scraper would come in handy right now. Especially if it worked. Yeah, something like that. And we'll just clean this up with the pickaxe. Yeah, something like that. Get out of here, dirt. I think if for now, I'm going to be tearing that down, so I'm going to throw the asphalt in here. And the extra gravel we got. And I don't think I'm using that or that. I have a stray hunky ramp. Throw that in there. It has some dozer genes, right? Some people are like, the dozer's easy, just put a GPS on it. Like, no, thanks. It does not work for me. I did not want to mess with it. The dozer can't even spawn into the map without screwing up, so I'll wait. I'll wait for them to fix that. Come on, baby loader, you got this. Actually, now that we're doing this, let's move the truck closer. Right up here. I think I can get the truck like right here and we'll be good. Let's go ahead and throw in some blocks. We got a pretty good reference level right there. I know a bunch of PC engineers. Oh, you know, we just get our laptops and we work together, and then we go out for food. Good times. So I've worked at this place for 3.5 years, and have never met anybody in person. I work remote. I interviewed remote. I've seen most of them on camera, like on Teams meetings and stuff. But, so it was good to get together with everybody and face to face, do a little socializing. Good times. I got to see 2 of our offices in Chicago. That was cool. But I was ready to get out of Chicago. I am a country boy, and that was a little much. Nice place to visit, but whoa, don't run into the concrete thingy. I was ready to get out of there. But for entertainment, we didn't do too much for entertainment. We worked all day, and then we would go out for dinner for like a couple hours and waddle back to the hotel full of good food and go to sleep. I had about a half-hour walk to the hotel, so I didn't want to like completely stuff myself and then walk for half an hour. So I didn't get too crazy. The grader and you have a estranged relationship. It sort of works. I tried the grader and didn't have much luck with it, but a lot of people use the dozer, and I don't like the dozer either, so maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Which is worse, traffic? I would say probably Chicago, just because it's bigger. And also, I live in the suburbs, like west of St. Louis. I used to work downtown St. Louis, so had to drive in that crap every day. I think Chicago edges it out, just for volume. Chicago's a bigger city. But St. Louis can be pretty bad. My commute is 2 flights of stairs down to my basement. Right here in this office. Same office I play in. Got me a nice comfy chair. Got a big L-shaped desk. One side is not necessarily an L, I guess it's just an angled desk. One side's for work, one side's for play. Yeah, this can hold about 3 scoops of baby loader, it seems. That stuff's on a different level, isn't it? I might have to start tearing apart and then see what else we need to do. So let's get this dirt dumped. You have a hard time deciding which is worse. Yeah, it all depends on the day, right, and what's going on. I know I'm not really a sports guy. I'm gonna go with VGN, Video Game Nation. I don't mind watching football if it's on, but I don't really follow any sports. And I'll usually watch, like, the World Series, especially if the Cardinals are playing, and the Super Bowl. But I don't really follow sports. Yeah, Dibs. It's kind of the same in Chicago. It's like it's summertime, so they're fixing all the roads. The worst part was flying up there. It was 8 hours for me, door to door, like leaving my house to getting to the hotel. And it's normally an hour flight to Chicago from here, and I live half an hour from the airport. It was bad. Flight was delayed like 3 hours. Got on the plane to St. Louis and sat on the tarmac for 45 minutes. It was just delays everywhere. O'Hare was a parking lot like it usually is. I was on the plane for 2.5 hours to get from St. Louis to Chicago. It was pretty crazy. The flight itself is like an hour. Coming back, I was on the plane for barely an hour. We just zoomed down here and got off like we usually do. Alrighty, I kind of like the way I have this set up. I'm going to see if I can leave these storage thingies here. But we're going to start ripping and tearing everything apart. So let's do that. Let's do some rebuilding. Also, let's drop a save before we do that. Big sports guy, mainly football and baseball. Cool. Should have gone Amtrak. I thought about driving, because I could drive to Chicago in about 5 hours, you know, to the south end. One of my colleagues actually drove from Arkansas, and he had a bad time because there was a big turbine blade being transported, and it jackknifed like on the interstate over in Illinois, and it just blocked traffic forever because it's over there in the middle of nowhere, farm country, Illinois, so there's not a whole lot of exits, and it apparently was a big mess. This I'm not happy with, though. I want to redo this. So we're going to start tearing stuff apart. I wish when you painted something and you picked it back up, it stayed that color. That would be nice. Oh, did I just... No, that was mostly empty. Okay, good. It's I think it sells everything, so we're fine. Oink. Oh, no, I wanted to save those. Dad nabbit. I was just happily deleting everything. I was going to save those. Let me put that storage guy back. Oh, you're not going to snap there, huh? Okay, fine. I'll put one there. Put you there. There we go. I'm not sure if that's going to stay there. But we'll stick it there and we'll see. Red Sox and Patriots. Cool. And yeah, the turbine blades are massive. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that. That. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. So this is our wash plant. That is our water coming in. So all this is getting redone. This is what I want to get away from. We've got this chute to drop the coal in. I want to get away from having to have that. That's what triggered all this massive rebuild. Get quite a bit of stuff in here. Let me just sell off some of this crap that doesn't really matter. There we go. I don't want to get too full here. I had to choose a new GPU. You know, I don't keep up on stuff like that very much. But I built a new PC a few months back. And I held out for a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti. That's kind of the best bang for the buck. If you're looking for like a budget card, I have no idea. Sorry. I don't really keep up on consumer stuff that much. I think we need most of this stuff, so I'm just freeing up some room here. $266 meters tall. Wow. That's pretty big. We're gonna leave the storage there. If I can hook back up to it, that'll be good. If not, no biggie. We'll figure something else out. So I want everything kind of downstream from this elevator. This is gonna have to be redone. So choppy choppy. And I'm not sure about the water pipes. And I don't really need the stone processing stuff up here anymore, so the plant's going to get consolidated a bit. I think we'll do stone up at the northern plant because that's where we're pulling the, the stone out of the mountain anyway. I used to buy stone and process it here, but we don't need to do that anymore. So what I'll probably do is add processing asphalt to that plant at some point. If I end up needing more asphalt. All right, let's get rid of you. I don't think you have anything in you. It's like a fire sale. It's all got to go. 4060. Oh, no, it's only $250. Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. The 4070 Ti Super is what I got. That's still, I think, kind of the best bang for your buck from the research I did at the time. All right, that's our coal plant. So we got a little more stuff we can get rid of. How am I on space? Get a little tight on space. All this stuff is, stacking. So. Do I have an idea of what this is going to look like before I took it down? Yeah, it's going to be... The beginning part of it's going to be kind of the same. It's just going to get shuffled around a little bit so I don't have to do the coal into a chute and hopper. And then it's not going to have the stone processing stuff on it to make gravel and asphalt. So it's going to get shifted down a little bit and then simplified somewhat. And we'll see how that fits into the landscape. So I originally did the elevator so we could do a trommel. Let's get this down there. We'll do that. Well, we'll worry about the blocking later. We're going to need some of those. And we're going to need a trommel. Do we need 2 trommels? Probably not. Then we're going to at least need a straight so we can get the coal out of there. Do we really need to go that high, though? I don't think we do. We do that. So if we go to the... Oops. Wrong button. Go to the trommel. Yeah, it does need to be up a little bit. So let's grab one of these. Yeah, that's about the right height. So then we need our little four piece because the coal has to come out here. Then we need a left. Let's get all the pipe stuff down here together. Yeah, here's our lefts. Do I have some rights? Am I looking right at them? Did I not have any rights? Maybe I didn't have any rights. Okay. I know I don't want the jaw crusher or the cone crusher. I don't want the... Where'd it go? The chute and the hopper. There it is. Hopper. We're going to need that extra power input. Oh, there's the chutes. We don't want the chutes. Yeah, it'll be dirt coming out of there, but it's the same as the it's the same setup as the coal shaker, right? Same height. It's the shaker screen, right, that does the coal. Forget what it's called. Oh, and I don't want this. I'm just going to rebuy the asphalt stuff if we need it. We'll get rid of all this piping stuff just to free up some room, and we'll figure that out when we get to it. Do 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 do. I thought there was called something else. Is there a coal sorter? Coal screen. Yeah. There it is. Found it. Because the shaker screen is just for any kind of ore, right? Oh no, it does. It takes rock out as well. So we could use the shaker screen. I think I was thinking of the setting this up for the coal screen though. Coal screen. Yeah, that's the one that comes out the back. So we need our left, and then we're one off. So we just need to move the coal plant over one, basically. We can deal with that. Hey, Zerg Rich, how's it going? Oh, you got a little bit of a cold? Oh, that sucks. Hope you get to feeling better soon. Meanwhile, take some vitamins, drink plenty of liquids, and take a little extra vitamin D. That'll boost that immune system. And welcome. All right, we're going to need some concrete. Goes back up there. And then we have our straights. More pipe we can get rid of. Oh, this has a ton of coal in it, so I don't know that that'll... I think you just waste this. I don't know if there's any way to get this out. So I have 2.5 stacks of coal. Do I get any back? I'm guessing no. Nope. It all just goes bye-bye. Sweet. There's that. All right, and you needed to be lined up with that, so let's go ahead and bring you over. That, and then coal plant. Perfect. I could have used an offset, yeah, but we'll just use what we got. It doesn't matter. I can use a little more space over here. It's all good. And yeah, it doesn't have any more fuel there. Perfect. Now I think... No, it does pull. Okay. I think before you had to bootstrap it when they first brought this out, but now if it has coal in here, it'll add. It adds from here up till it gets to half full, and then it just tries to keep itself half full. So unfortunately, if you go to move that, you lose half a tank of fuel, however much that takes. All right, so that's the first little bit. That's why I wanted to redo all this. A lot of trouble, but there it is. So everything comes in here. This has the coal go out the back. Let me just double check because this stuff gets confusing sometimes. Yeah, anything comes in, coal goes out the back, everything else goes through. Perfect. Now probably the thing to do would be the trommel and to get our pay dirt. So, I don't know if we have enough real estate here. I keep thinking of ideas. They're bad ideas, though, so we're not going to do them. This stuff over there may have to move. We shall see. Because now I kind of need to go up again, because we have the trommel. And I don't have any more ups. Got some downs. So let me grab an up 4x4. that. I wish there was a 1x1. So we need at least a 2 on here. Yeah, I'll gotta do wiring Darkwind. Thanks. That'll come later. So we need at least a 4 meter on here. So we can again go to the left. Also good to see Darkwind. Thanks for dropping in. The official chat PA of Kerbo Industries. So when I forget everything, I get reminded. So we kind of need to do a wash plant. And how does the water tie into the wash plant again? The wash plant needs to be up as well. Maybe we should do the elevator here, and then we'd have the height for the wash plant. Let's try that. Elevator. Do that, and then we need to come over 4 meters. Have our trommel. Good turn, but there's not enough room. I think our trommel's just gonna have to be up in the air. Then wash plant, and the water comes in underneath, and then these are gonna have to move. There's just no two ways about it. I liked how I had this set up, so I'm gonna replicate that wherever we end up moving this stuff. And I've just about lost my voice, so it's disappearing into the basement. It may eventually disappear, but it's getting lower and lower and lower. It may eventually disappear, but for now I still have a voice. I did a lot more talking this week than I normally do, and a lot of it was shouting in crowded restaurants. So my voice kind of took a beating this week. Two meter straight? No, these are 2 meter. So when I say 2, a lot of times I mean 2 sections. Yeah, you have to have a 4 meter, make 2 sections, because the elbow is a 2x2 section, 4x4 meter. Hope that makes sense. All right, yield wash plant. The wash plant's the one that sends everything on through, right? Yes. Cool. And then we had, is the shakers? Yeah, shaker screen, I think, separates out the ore. No. I thought there was something that sorted out the ore from the dirt. What did they call that? Metal sorters for the hot stuff, right? No, that's just for the ore. Or did they get rid of that? I guess another trommel would do it. I guess that's why I had 2 trommels. Yeah, another trommel would do it. So it'll take the dirt and send everything on through. Yeah. All right, another trommel. Yeah, what Brian said. So goodies come out over here, and then we need to sell the crap that comes out of here. So we can do our left and left. Then we need to dump into the cell. Elevator, we need a straight. Oh, I sold the chute. We do need a chute for the sell point. I guess technically we don't. This looks kind of nicer. Actually, let's do... Zerg said, this is less like an equipment sim and more like a Factorio. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. You can just dig with the equipment and not mess with any of this stuff. But it is getting a lot more like factory and automation type stuff built into it. Like we can automatically smelt things now. I don't want that type of concrete. I want the other type of concrete. Here we go. Do 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 do. And then can I just put the sell point here and call it a day? The sell point is one of those weird game pieces that like doesn't snap to anything. It's a little awkward. Or do I even need... I think I even need the elbow. What if we literally just had it squirt out up there? Just fall down into the sell point. Oh, shoot. Hashtag dad joke. Alright, let's get our sell point up here. Well, on grid mode, it actually looks like it kind of does want to snap on here. Oh, it does want to snap to the concrete. Okay, it's really weird about snapping, though. Can't really tell where it is. Forgot, let me zoom out in this view. And then go to that view. Then snap it to that, and then turn it like that. And then if I place it there, do you come one more this direction? That might just kind of work. Well, I think the chute makes it drop more straight down. I think I do want to come one more direction, one more block this way. Yeah, I want to be kind of up against that. Nope, one more over that direction. Yeah, like that. Getting a little cloud burst. Nice. What's up, Havoc? Dirt Maniacs. That's right. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. It's always super popular, too. Appreciate y'all hanging out on a Saturday. We want a chute. Yes, please. I'll just make sure it drops straight down. Okay, that should, yeah, we'll get dirt and pay dirt. Wash plant, we'll get water hooked up to the wash plant. And then the goodies will come out this end. The dirt gets sold. So the goodies then can just take a left-hand turn into storage. And let's put a straight and then a storage. Because we're probably going to have another one beside it. So something like that. We're kind of figuring out our new plant, and then we can start leveling the ground, getting stuff underneath it, putting up catwalks, all that good stuff. Okie dokie. So, coal screen sends the coal over to the coal plant. That takes care of all the doit. And then everything that's not coal or dirt or pay dirt will end up over here. And I think that just kind of needs to go into another storage. So it really just needs to kind of turn and come down, I think. That'll be where we get our down guys. We got some downs. Oh, no, I want to go right. My bad. Right, right, down, 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 down. And that's going to run into that, so we need to go left and then down again. Yeah, then we're down to this level. Then we could come over one and then left and then into a storage. And our storages are back lined up. And I probably did something wrong because that worked out way too well. Yeah, we're one off. So I could put a little oneer over there. You guys are probably all giving me the answers, but I'm concentrating on the screen right now. So let's put a little corner there. And that's not clipping into any... Oh, it is clipping into stuff. Well, that's no good. Don't want any clipping. Yeah, that's... I think that's acceptable. It's like underneath the wash plant. I think we're good. I think we're good with that. Then left, and then into a storage. Beautiful. Let me catch up on chat. The conveyor's dumped nearly 2 meters in front. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. With the chute, it's guaranteed to go down. Justin McDade, welcome. I'm doing all right. I'm recovering from a long work week in Chicago. But I'm back home now. And yeah, just kind of chilling. Did some kid stuff this morning. And yeah. Nice weekend. Just running pay and coal. Yeah, I don't think there is a few things here and there, ore-wise, but I think we'll be okay. Down, down, down to Goblin Town. Is it normal to watch somebody? Yeah, absolutely normal, Havoc. Absolutely. A lot of the different games I play, people are like, "Hey, I'm playing that game while I'm watching you play the game." It's all good. Okay, so I think that's our new plant. Really all we do here is coal, and the coal gets dumped in there, and then it just comes up to the merger and goes on out. We do have dirt and pay dirt around here. Not a whole lot else, so I think we're good. We kind of consolidated this down. Can I move the water like over here? It has to be on grass. Let's see if we can move the water, because the water is... Well, I've got this all set up with the... Yeah, we've got enough water. Maybe we'll just do really long pipes. I do have it already kind of situated here, and it works. You doing some out of ore as well, Justin? There you go. Play away. Hey, Real Doc Rabbit. Yeah, I was watching Surtur play Star Rupture, and I had seen it pop up on my feed from other people and hadn't had a chance to watch it. I really enjoyed his video on it. That's why I linked his channel in the description of that video. It's got huge potential. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks fantastic. It's got a lot of the good elements from Satisfactory and some other games. Yeah, it looks like it's got some potential. Yeah, let's just bring water over here and we'll make it work. So yeah, we'll just come from there. I think we'll keep the railing, but I think the rest of this... I think we'll just get rid of that. We can always rebuy it. I've got $5 million. We're way past the scrimping and saving portion of the gameplay. Let's run some pipes. 8 is the longest. Let's get like for those. I know I'm going to at least need one left. And then probably some shorter ones. So let's see how we get along with that. Maybe 4 is not going to be enough. And we need to come up a bit. Let's do that here. So we have an 8. Probably an 8x4 would do it. Is that... No, I think we need to come up one more. We may come up multiple times, though. Let's do this. Let's go back to pipelines. We have the up. I guess the up 4 is all we have. Alright, well, never mind. Probably gonna need more than one of them. Let's go ahead and come on over a little bit. We can dig just a little bit of dirt out here. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I'll eventually need to come up a little more. We'll see if it works out. I didn't want it to get too high off the ground as it came over. Let's see if we can turn and then do like a 4x4 up maybe. So we need to come over. I need a 2 section, I think. Maybe a straight 4. And then we need our left. And then I think... Oh, no, that's going to be... Oh, right. Is the only ups we have... Oh, it has a 4x4. It doesn't have a 4x... Yeah, it doesn't have that. Alright, well, let's see how this gets along. That's too long. That's not going to work. Yeah, we'll have to do this. Then we need a another straight. And I apologize. Like I said, my voice is just about gone after this week. So it's hanging in there. It's kind of rough. All right, that should get us water into our wash plant. It's a lot of pipe, but this is all set up, and the water pump's a little tricky to get working. So I think that'll do what we needed to do. Let's do some test runs real quick. Just to make sure. And we'll see how we get along. I can get rid of this now. And probably put a pole in like here. Maybe. Alright, get rid of that, and that. And then we want to purchase power. We need a 5400 pole. To there. Now we got to cable everything together. Including the coal power plant. Alright, so you're going to go to there. Does it let you do? No, the plants can only do one. Right. Jumps a little crazy. I don't think there is a straight up pipe, is there? I don't think there's an elevator equivalent for the pipes. I think that snapped. Yeah, there it goes. All right, snap. And then will you reach? You will indeed. Here we go. That's our power over to our oil. Okay, I think we're ready to run some material. Yeah, a little vertical pipe would be nice. For sure. Alright, 1415 kilowatt. That's way less power than it used to need. And, yeah. No more monkeying around with the chute and hopper and having the extra little power thing I have to turn on. Here we go. We got dirt. Hopefully we got dirt going into the sell point. We got something going into the sell points. Do we have water getting over here? It doesn't look like we have water getting over here. But that may be because that's all just dirt, not any pay dirt. Yeah, I think that's all just dirt. I think it only squirts maybe when it's processing the pay dirt. I don't remember for sure. We can put some pay dirt through there just to check. There's a little bit of pay dirt right here. Grab some. Let's grab like 10 pay dirt. Hoi! Do we not have water? Did I mess up the water somehow? Yeah, there's no water. Okay, I messed up the water somehow. It's pumping. The pipeline's working. What did I mess up here? Go out. 5150 kilowatts. Nice. A Y merger for conveyors. Yeah, yeah. Alright, I've done something wrong here apparently, because this does not have any water in it. Yeah, kangaroo legs for sure. We're making water, so the pump's working. It's not drawing any water. I put one of these in backwards or something? It will not pull out of the liquid tank until it's full. Seriously? Oh, brother. Well, I need to redo that then. So I need to do a splitter into the tank so we can gather water and send it on through. I need to do that both places. I have a tank at my other place too. I thought it was pulling water through on the other one. That's unfortunate. All right, well we'll redo this and hope we have enough room. I just recently did that and I didn't realize it wasn't sending the water through. So yeah, great. So I guess we'll do that. And we'll have the tank over there. Throw all the water that we don't need in there. And then we're going to have to do a left, left, right, and some straights. Okay. Straight. To double up on this stuff because I'm probably going to have to do it at the other place as well. All right, left, left, right, and then a 3 section. So not that, we need a 6 meter. Ta-da! There it goes. So you have to put a splitter in it. All right, thanks for that. I did not know that was a thing. That's good to know. Send a little more pay dirt through, and then we'll test with some dumping some coal down there. As we'll send the pay dirt or the regular dirt through as well. There we go. Now we got water spray. Cool. All right. I would have swore that was working before with the spray, but maybe not. And we should have dirt selling over there. Our money went up, I believe. And then we should have stuff over here in the storage. At least in this one. Yep, those are ore from the pay dirt. Probably nothing here. Yeah. As expected. All right, let's dump a load with the loader here. Make sure that part's working. This has power. Cool. Didn't break that. So we'll get some of this. It'll be a mix of dirt and coal. What? Uh-oh. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. Help! Help! I think it's recover time. Oh, I almost had it. No, don't grab stuff. It's kind of colliding on the dirt and the hopper, and things are getting weird. I have to pee in the cup again. Always peeing in the cup. Alright, fine. This is... It's this top one, right? No. It is the bottom one. Yes. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about, chat. I would never do something so foolish. Or a diaper. Alright, let's try that again with less falling off on my face. Need to get some blocks over there. There's some floor so I don't fall in again. Alright, let me shimmy around. We're going to get a nice big scoop of pay dirt as well. We'll make sure all the things are happening. It's a little tight down here, but I'm going to be expanding out to the south there in that coal seam, so it'll get larger. And I might end up moving this back some, because yeah, I've got the offset to make it work. I might move the chute further east at some point. Alright, we should have a working plant. And no, you can't jack it up with blocks, I don't think. I think it would probably just launch it into orbit, if anything. Money's going up. We're getting coal over to the plant. Perfect. Coal's coming in here. Sending the good stuff on through. This should still be empty because we haven't sent any ore through. And we're getting stuff over here from the pay dirt. Cool. That is working as expected. Let me get rid of this. Like so. And then I want to kind of recreate what I had here originally. Go back to our grid build. No, I don't technically need those others underneath here, but it makes me feel good. Makes me happy. Alright, we'll do that, and then some of these middle ones can actually come out. Do that. And we'll do that. Yeah, this is a ticket. And then we'll do that. No, then that's not going to line up, is it? I have to redo that part. It'll get larger. It's cold in here. Okay, where'd our steel floor and railing go? Here we go. So what I had before was... this only was colored. Yeller. Put that back like that. And then we had some stairs. I believe I put over here. We need some yeller for sure. And we need some stairs. There we go. So our sidewalk's gonna get moved over. So what I've been doing is this rough concrete is kind of the general like area, and then this is considered a sidewalk, the chamfered, the smoother chamfered concrete. In case you were wondering, that's what's going on. So put these along here, and then this will be our new sidewalk. These take up one grid space, right? Yeah, there we go. Like so. So that's kind of the look I've been going for this plant. And we paint all this stuff safety yellow. Like I said, when I pick these up, I wish they would stay that color. It'd just be like a byte tracking the color or whatever the storage is. Wouldn't be that big of a deal, I wouldn't think. What's up, Dro? I don't speak cat on keyboard, but welcome. Don't have my translator handy. Then do we want to? Am I doing sidewalk all around? Yeah, kind of for the most part. Only this needs to get redone. Actually, I don't need this here anymore. This was for another loader, another hopper. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, I think I'll do sidewalk all around. this manufacturing plant building thingy. So we're gonna have to move some dirt. Hey, McCrunchy Toast. Yeah, other than my voice almost being gone from talking so much and yelling in restaurants, doing all right. And we're getting back into the swing of things, playing some video games. And the Windy Cindy was all right. I'm not a city guy. I'm more at home in the woods. But I'm married to a city girl and live in the suburbs, so kind of used to the suburbs. Like I can exist anywhere and blend in, but I prefer not to be in downtown Chicago. Surrounded by pot smoke and pea smell. It was pretty stinky. Not really my thing, but it was a good trip. It was all for work. I got to meet a lot of colleagues I've never met before, so that was cool. A little more personal, social aspect to it, other than, you know, video calls. It was all good. Also got to eat a lot of excellent food. Very expensive, excellent food, thanks to a bunch of vendors. So, something like that for now. I think we'll kind of finish this out. And I want to start working on supports for this, so it's not floating in the air. Catwalks, that kind of thing. But Chicago's it's a nice place to visit. I just wouldn't want to live there. There we go. I feel like we should have a ladder, you know, set of stairs over here as well. And then, I don't know if we'll have like a parking lot or something here eventually. I don't know. I don't know how much longer this save is going to go. I'm kind of wrapping up this series. Another reason I decided to stream this today instead of making an episode out of it. We're kind of getting towards the end of what I wanted to do. There's always tweaking and then just, you know, just playing the game. Digging stuff and processing it. So the series isn't dead yet, but it is drawing to a close. For those of you that have been following Season 4. A little sneak peek into what's coming in the next episode. We'll have all this done. And it'll be a surprise for people that didn't know. Alright, let's get a grid going here. Oops. Or maybe we should do something different here. Since this sidewalk is already coming this direction, yeah, let's do something different. I just had a better idea. We'll have a... We have a block here. Yeah, and then we can have a stair down. And then this will be that block, and then... And as for aesthetics, we'll put that in there. And we're going to need some more railing. Do I have more railing down here? I know I have more railing. We need a sort button. I don't see any railing in here. I think the railing I have is in my other pants. That's in my other container. Do have more steel floors. Let's get that put down. There we go. And we just need a couple railings for that. So let me pop back up north. Yeah, north. There's my railing. I got just a little bit of railing. Just a tad. Bunch more steel floor too. Most of my building materials are up here. That'll do us. I think we only really need like 2, so take some down there with us. gonna need steel floor. I don't know if we'll need any more steel floor. We'll take some with us. Just teleporting around the map. Hey Zerg. No, I didn't do deep dish pizza. We were not at a place that had deep dish pizza. It was all fancy restaurants. I did get some Portillo's. I had a nice jumbo Chicago dog. I'm not a super big fan of deep dish pizza. That being said, a couple weeks ago, my wife made some homemade, and it was really, really good. She's a really good cook. And we were up there in Chicago, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. We took the kids up for a few days and did all the, museums and stuff like that. And we got some deep dish pizza at, is it Giordano's or something like that? That was recommended to us. And it was good, but I'm just not that crazy about deep dish pizza. I'm more of a New York style pizza guy. Sorry. Since we have the railings, let's go ahead and do this. This is just access to the storage. I love games like this that let you kind of, customize the world, and I've got a pretty vivid imagination, so this works out. Now it makes me want to do this side. They come down off of here instead. So it's a little more symmetrical, but no, that's fine. We may want to have tie-ins to other catwalks here. Let's not get too carried away. Alright, what are we going to do with the rest of this? I want some kind of support so it doesn't look like the stuff's all just floating around in the air. It doesn't matter, but it bothers me. So we're going to get just some wooden beams under this stuff. So it looks like it's setting on something. Like so. I want to do the bottom layer of concrete. Maybe I do. How does that look if we do concrete underneath? The more substantial stuff will have concrete under it. And then timber cribbing. Oh, the crunchy toast is from the mountains of North Georgia. Nice. Yep. I'm from the middle of nowhere, northern Missouri. Rural area. Never lived in a town until I went to college. Yeah, San Diego is nice. I've been out there. I've been to most of the major cities. I was lucky enough to travel a lot for work years ago. And it was, mostly hotels and airports, but I've been to most of the major cities in the U.S. Alright, so if it's just one, we'll do timber cribbing. What are we going to do with this monstrosity? Kind of almost want to do steel there. I do have plenty of steel. But I think that was up in the other... Yeah, it was up in the other box. Plenty of steel floor. Alright, we need to bounce back up north. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to be doing some of that. Let me just go ahead and grab the rest of this. I don't think we'll need any of that other stuff. Not easy doing the huge projects. Yeah, I just do a little bit of it at a time. I don't do anywhere near the scale that like Split in Two Gaming was doing. Those big multiplayer streams. They did truly massive, massive projects. It was pretty cool. A steel block yoke. I missed, Brian, what that was in reference to. I'm sorry. Anywhere near Eagleville, Missouri? No, I've heard of Eagleville, but I can't remember where that's at. I grew up in northeast Missouri. Went to college down in kind of south central Missouri. And then in 2004-ish, we moved down here to St. Louis area. We're a good 30, 40 miles west of St. Louis. Alright, I think what we're going to do is put some blocks down underneath here. Like that. And we're going to do metal blocks on top of that. It's going to let me do that. Then we're going to pretend like it's rusting on there. Oops. I stuck a random block over here. I missed. Oh, to support the conveyors. I got you. Yeah, we're going to do something like that. It's going to be more for looks than anything, but I thought it looked silly having timber cribbing up that high. So we're going for some steel here and there. Like that, and we need something pretty substantial supporting this other trommel. So let's go for steel on that as well. And then steel, steel, concrete, concrete. And I think we'll just go ahead and flesh this out, at least underneath the trommel. Make it a little more substantial pad. Again, this stuff will just happily float in the middle of the air. This is just to make me happy. It looks like we have some mass there supporting all that stuff up in the air. Whee! Alright, let's get some concrete under that elevator. I think we could do cribbing under there. Some more cribbing under that. Really want some under here. There we go. Let's just make that all along. There, the cell point looks good. We've got some concrete under that. Let's make this a little bit bigger of a pad. Let's just bring that on out. And what do we need here? Just some wooden cribbing, I think, under these conveyors would be fine. That. And it's starting to look like it's somewhat supported. Yeah, out that way, Zerg. Wilfred von Kolk. Welcome. Hope I said that somewhat right. Cast out of Indestructium, right? It's made from solid unobtainium. That's what my engineer friends at college used to call it. Unobtainium. Good stuff. I kind of feel like I want some steel blocks there. Yeah, that's starting to look like something. And I kind of want some catwalks up here. I don't know. We don't have any like angled brackets, do we? If we go to steel? No, it's pretty much just steel blocks. Alright. From tree-dwelling blue people. I got it, Wilfred. Nice. I tried. So let's make it like a platform up here. All along here where we can look at all this stuff. And we'll pretend like this is all like, you know, welded and good. And then we're going to have stairs coming down. Like that. Maybe over here like that. And then have a... there we go. Yeah, something like that, and then we can have the sidewalk. Coming over to the stairs. I like it. It's kind of coming together. Tie those together with some concrete, so it looks like they're kind of doing something. Steel mesh. Yeah, I hadn't thought about using that. I use the steel floors a lot. Alright, you come down to there, and then we need to get some steel floor up there. Right in, oh, I had it right in there. I need some more yellow paint, I can already tell. Just buy 100 more. I always use it. We're flush with money. It does have a pretty decent building system. I don't care for the rotate. I wish you could just like hit R to rotate. A little bit of a pain. Let me switch to snap. That's usually easier on this kind of stuff. So yeah, I like the steel floor. It's got the diamond tread pattern on it. Looks pretty nice. So we can get up here and see what our trommel's doing. Let's see what time's it getting to be. I need to wrap this up before too long. Go say hi to the wife. Today's our 22nd wedding anniversary, and she's been gone all day. She finally got home. She celebrated by leaving me all day. She went bike riding with a friend and went and did some shopping and stuff. All good. She keeps the house stocked. That's important. Do we need something underneath here? I feel like that's floating out in the air too much. So let's bring that over a bit, but I need my concrete blocks back. In grid mode. Perfect. And we'll do like that. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's your parents' anniversary, too? Nice. Yep, 22 years ago. Stood up in front of God and everybody and said, I do. So far, we have. Do we need to be... Yeah, we don't really need to be down here too much, do we? Although... What if we did... Alright, so if we had the blocks along here. It was up a level. Yeah, that one sticks out, so I don't really want the things interfering with it. Alright, redo. I'm already tearing it down. And it kind of intersects with the shaker a bit, doesn't it? I don't like it. What if we came down one level? Does it not want to snap to the stairs? Snap to that. Well, I don't know that I really need to be up over here. That might be a little much. Yeah, we'll just put it back the way I had it. Do. Need some steel blocks back. Snapperoo. Alright, let's go back up. I kind of wanted a way over here to get back down, but I don't necessarily need to have it. We can always just go back from whence we came. Alright, we are on snap build, so snap, snap, snap. And then let's get some yellow back in our life. Yeah, there we go. And we can get to our storage. Everybody's happy. We can get to our sell point. I want to bring that on out just to be symmetrical. Maybe. Firm that up a little bit. Can we go directly from there to there? This kind of seems like a waste over here. I have a feeling the answer to that is no. We'll try it. Oh, no, it does work. Sweet. Alright. Eliminated a pole we didn't need. Oh yeah, this trommel's floating, isn't it? Yeah. Good call. Yeah, let's just do concrete all under that. All under that because it's a big heavy piece of equipment. And maybe just like this. And we could even do, if we wanted to, we could do like a inspection. I usually keep my power cable right there. That's why I keep putting it there, just so I know where it's at. Could even have a little like inspection area up here. Yeah, it's clipping, really clipping into the trommel, isn't it? It's unfortunate. Makes you hungry for hot dogs. Homeopathic fossil fuels. I like that name. That's a good one. Well, let me go ahead and build this out, and we'll see how terrible it looks. All the accoutrements in place. Accoutrements? There we go. That's the word I was looking for. it's not too bad. I can kind of ignore the clipping maybe. Nice little inspection port there. Around the BP oil disaster. Yeah. Your OCD alert went off for greasing the bearings. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of maintenance on these because they got these big like rollers on the hardened rings. These are very loud. I've just from watching TV shows. I've never used one in real life. They are quite loud. All right, I'm pretty happy with this, guys. I'm pretty happy with this setup. There's going to be a little more tweaking to be done. I may have some more like manufacturing stuff in this. I might end up moving this stuff over. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I do want to go fix the water up at the north plant. Now that I know that that's a thing. Let's get our concrete put over here. Some more concrete blocks. We always need more concrete blocks, so let's make like, can we make another 50? No. Let's make another 30. That'll work. And if I make much more concrete, I need to get back up to the north plant and get to loading rock. Bring steps out, one more block. Dibs, I missed that. Was that over at the trommel we just did? That eliminates the steps clipping. Yeah, we could try that. It might look a little better not having the hand drill there. Alright, so we need that, we need that, we need that, we need that, and we're going to need some yellow. I brought this over. Yeah, there we go. I like it. Good call. We just need some yaller. Come here, yeller. Doink. 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 Perfect. I like it. Good suggestion. I'd kind of like to have these metal blocks painted a different color, so not everything is red. What would be a good color for those guys? Yeah, we can get right up here and look right down the trommel. I like it. This plant isn't doing anything, so we can shut it off. There's no load on this. Is it still burning the same amount of fuel? About the same, I think. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for now. Well, we got tons of coal. Screw it. Do your thing, coal plant. We got plenty. Black blocks. Yeah, maybe. Do I have any black? If not, I'll buy some. I don't think I have any black paint. Not down here anyway. Let's put that. Put all the stuff back in here. This guy's not quite full. It's all kind of the basic colors. Various shades of, you know, red, green, orange, blue, yellow. Let's try black on these. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So I want all these steel blocks to be a color. Rather than everything being red. Kind of digging it. Might need more than 20 though. Let me get it in first person. No! No! Here's where it's good that you can just put it back and it resets the color. I want you to be black, not the underlying pipeline. Make them white. Yeah, the problem with the white is it's not really white. Like I painted the roof of my big parking building up north white, and I'll show it to you in a minute. It's definitely not white. Yeah, I'm liking the black. We're gonna need some more. We're gonna need some more black though. Let's get into like, let's just get 50. Screw it. We got so much money, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's more of a pale gray. Black and yellow song? I don't remember that. Alright, I've got some black over on, or I've got some metal blocks over on this side, so we'll do the same on this part of the factory. This is my smelting area, if you haven't been following along on Season 4. If you are new here, this is my hardcore Season 4. Started with the pickaxe and built all this. That's in a playlist if you want to go check it out sometime. Done 4 seasons of this game. It's changed quite a bit from Season 1 to Season 4. It's been under heavy development. These could probably just be timber piles. This factory could use some love too. This all is just free floating. That's not the greatest. I already put my steel back. Alright, I know one thing I need to do is go fix the water thing up north. So let's go do that. And then I probably need to call it quits. Are we done with baby loader down here? I'm not sure I am, so I'll just leave it down here. We'll let's just teleport up. That'll work. So these sides here, they look fairly white-ish. Let's go take a look at the roof real quick. So these sides and the roof are white. They're painted with white paint. So that's what white looks like. But I've apparently got the same problem here. We're just filling up the storage, not actually getting any water out. So that's a bummer. So we're going to do the same thing here. We need a splitter. Some lefts and rights. So splitter. Go away, weed. You've got 150 chat XP. How much do you need to purchase the official Kerbo Fedora? You need 40 billion. That ought to do. Yeah, I don't do any merch. In all seriousness, I don't do any merch. If you're here watching or you're leaving a comment or a thumbs up on a video, that's all I need. You go beyond that, that's awesome. But right now, this is just a hobby for me. I might get more serious at some point as I early retirement, but it's just for funsies right now. All right, back to grid. Let's get some semblance of something set down here. Then we need our left, right, and then we need it was a 6 meter, right? Factory pipelines, 6 meter. Doink. There we go. Alright. Now when that's turned on, we should get actual water coming out. Yeah, all the colors are a little strange. Homeopathic. They're just, yeah, they're a little weird. They don't look like they do on the can. Alright. Throw some cribbing under here. I think that looks pretty good. This one is turned off, and of course the coal plant's... No, I left the coal plant on, didn't I? Let's go turn this on. Uh-oh. Make sure we have actual water now. I think it takes a little while to pump down. Yeah, we got water coming through. Nice. Okay, and then we'll just have a... I guess we don't even really need the storage tank up here, do we? Now that I think about it. Yeah, whatever. We'll gather water here too. Maybe it'll come in for something useful at some other point. The only thing I use water for right now is making the concrete. Maybe we'll need it for more in the future. We'll stockpile it. Start a fan club where the brown fedora is mandatory. I actually have a brown fedora. Let me switch to... Where's my webcam? There it is. But it doesn't work very well with the over-the-ear headphones. There you go. I do actually have... And I recently cut my hair, so it looks like I'm bald. I do have hair on there. There we go. I would need to get some ear pods or something. I was going to wear the hat on camera, but I usually don't have the camera on because, yeah, I like to keep it all about the game. That's why I don't have big fancy overlays and stuff. Even back when I was on Twitch. It is an efficient hairstyle. I hate dealing with hair. So I've pretty much wall clippers with a number 3 guard. And if it gets long enough, I have to brush it in the morning. It's time to cut my hair. I have really wavy hair when it grows out, and it's just a pain to deal with. So for about the last 30, 40 years, it's mostly looked like this. Just can't be bothered. Plus, I have a giant head, so when my hair grows out, it makes my hat size even bigger. I wear like a size 8 hat. My mom got me that fedora. Got that a few years back. Alright, so water is fixed. You haven't seen the building. I did complete that. I don't remember. Did I show the completed building on the video? I think I did. But I got that finished out. I kind of like the blue. I wasn't sure I'd like it at first, but I kind of like it. I put the skirting all around. I think it looks pretty decent. There's our little covered parking area up here. You got to keep it long for the insulation. Yeah, that's true. That's why in the wintertime I grow my beard out. So in the wintertime I've got a beard. It keeps my face warm. Wife hates it, but it keeps my face warm. All right. Well, I think let's run a little bit of rock through, and then I'm going to call it quits. I do need some more gravel. So yeah, the grid load is low, so we can go ahead and turn both of these on. I don't have enough power to run both plants, the mine transport and the smelter plant all at the same time. So I have to be a little bit careful about what I turn on. But yeah, let's go run some gravel. Or some stone, I guess. Blasted rock. You thought you went back in time to 2005? It's a good webcam. It's 1080p. What's it? It's like a C920. Where's my? I got a full stream cam. You want some shiny forehead? I don't have the green screen set up on this scene, but there's the green screen. You get the full shiny forehead now. Good times. You don't need to look at me though. All right, I just blasted in here, so we got some fresh rock to scoop up. We'll run a little bit of this through to get some gravel going. Nah, I do need to get off here and go do some other things. Little thermal insulation. Yeah, my daughter has really like thick, long hair. Keeps the sun off her neck too. I'm usually wearing a baseball cap if I'm outside. I'm outside in the sun. Otherwise, the top of my head would get sunburned. So if you haven't been following the series and you're new here, this is my basically stone mine at this point. There's a lot of copper and iron down here, but I worked my way back to solid rock. And I've been blasting that and scooping it into here. I've got half of it going to storage as gravel, and then the other half to a froth floater to get the ores out. And then we sell the tailings at a sell point. That's all in that plant. Up there, what I call the northern plant, up here at the mountain mine. This darker stuff back here behind me is copper and iron. And then we're into the solid stone right now. So I have to blast it with, oh, what is that stuff called? Equipment explosives. Anfo. I think I mostly use an Anfo. And then it breaks up the solid rock to something you can scoop. And as I'm scooping here, you can see it's turning gray. That's back to the solid rock. You can't scoop into that. Fun little game. If you haven't seen Out of Ore before, it's a fun little digging game. And there's some building and a little bit of factory stuff in it as well. Get actual minerals to separate? Yeah. There's different dirt and pay dirt and coal and various ores like iron and copper. And then if you can smelt those into different things and use machines to manufacture parts. Or you can just play in creative mode and do whatever you want. In this series, I made some self-imposed rules where basically if I can craft it, I have to craft it. So a lot of the, like all these concrete blocks I made with basically gravel. Turning the gravel into concrete, mixing it with water and making concrete panels. Then all these steel catwalks and stuff that we were just putting up, the railings, all that I made with the crafting machines in the game from materials that I mined. So that's just a self-imposed rule. You can make money and just buy everything you want. This is the main game loop though. Digging in the ground for stuff. There's front loaders, there's excavators, dump trucks. Come on. There's getting stuck with your front wheels. This is a little low mine loader, made for going down in the mines. It's got some cool equipment. And then I've got these conveyors set up to take the material back up the mountain. So I dump it in there. These power conveyors take it all the way up here. We'll just kind of follow it through. We'll check the processing. build the floating factories, homeopathic fossil fuels. Yeah, I don't like that as well. That's why I was doing all that work down below. So it didn't look like they were floating. So this merger here is just so I can get power. So this inputs power into the conveyors so they actually work. The power comes from a coal plant down where we were before. Down there. Comes up through these power lines all the way up the mountain. Then that conveyor system dumps out of here into this hopper. And then this hopper is powered and it sends it all over into all this stuff. Does all the separating and the processing and the stuff and the things. And it's a giant conglomerate of mess here, but that's the froth floater I mentioned. So real quick, let's go through the plant here. It's a doozy. Whoa! Alright, so trommel. Trommel takes dirt and pay dirt and spits it out the back, which is the bottom conveyor. Bottom conveyor comes up, goes up this elevator. Hangs the left. Goes into this wash plant, which also takes in water. The wash plant takes the pay dirt, separates out all the goodies, gold ore, silicon, diamonds, rubies, stuff like that. Those all go down through all these conveyors down to there and then into the storage unit over here. So we got a few things here and there. I didn't really run any pay dirt through, so not much came out. Come on, guy. Jump. Jump. Whee! I can stand on a rotating trommel. I'm just that good. So stuff that's not dirt and pay dirt comes out the front. That goes into this coal screen. So it sends coal out the back, which then goes left. Let me go to first person through this conveyor. This conveyor comes over here to this merger and then goes on over there and gets dumped into storage. Anything that's left that's not dirt or pay dirt and it's not coal, which in this case is mostly blasted rock, goes up this elevator. It goes into a couple different crushers. There's a jaw crusher, which breaks it down into smaller rocks. And then the cone crusher takes those smaller rocks, crushes them into gravel. It's complicated. And then this is a splitter. So half of the gravel goes here into storage. And somehow I end up with iron ore occasionally. I don't know why. So that gravel I can use to make concrete in my little crafting station. The other half of the gravel goes to this froth floater. And it uses water to separate out any minerals that might be mixed in with the gravel. And then it makes the goodies go out the top conveyor. And then over there into that other storage. And then you end up with what's called tailings. So anything that's not precious that came out of the gravel is tailings. You've been around mining, you've heard of tailings. Well, the tailings come over here, they go up there, and they get dumped into this sell point. So they just get automatically sold and you get a few bucks for it. That's a pretty complex, compact plant. It does just about everything. The mother lode is gravel in Denmark. Really? What's all the gravel used for? Like making roads and stuff? Yeah, you got another Dane there, Brian. So yeah, this is the northern plant. So it all comes down to this storage. So it gets all separated out. Like I said, I don't know how the iron ore ends up over there with the gravel. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But some ore will get in with the gravel somehow. And then I've got a little loading station set up here so I can put stuff in this hopper and turn it on. Though I need to get power ran over here. I've been redoing my power. It doesn't have any power right now. Put stuff in that hopper and then it goes through things to split it up into two different chutes. These two chutes right here are for loading this truck. Then I can take that truck full of stuff down to the bottom there, where we were before, and process it through the smelter and whatnot, and make things out of the metals. I hope that makes sense. Like I said, if you're new here, there's a playlist, season 4. I started with a pickaxe and built all this from the ground up. It's been quite the journey. I do need to get off here and go do some family stuff. Thanks as always for watching, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll catch y'all later. Nice to see some new folks in here as well. Take care. Bye-bye.